Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Well, a lot of activities are happening in the world of sport over the weekend. Manchester United falling to Arsenal. Good one for Arsenal fans out there celebrating the fact that they were able to do it. Now it seems they are battle ready for this particular journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Well, welcome you on the show again. We'll be looking at our own first, talking about handball, MPF, and all the activities that happen in the Nigerian Professional Football League. But before we talk about that, I have in the studio Jide Olushola. Good to have you.
Good morning. Good to be here again.
And I have Ikena Okonkwo.
Thank you, Adeni. Good to be here once more.
Good one. And Nigerian sportsmen, actually, they did well. We're talking about handball now. Let's look at the first story now that has to do with handball. Nigeria under 18 handball team qualified for IHF Challenge Trophy Intercontinental Championship for the fact that they were able to win all their games at this competition that took place in Congo, Brazzaville. They qualified for the Intercontinental Championship. Although the under 20 were not so lucky, Guinea actually got that in place of Nigeria under 20. But for the under 18, they were able to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. I say kudos to them. Congratulations. A similar thing that perhaps happens in volleyball at the both are age grade levels. However, under 18, we seem to be doing better both in volleyball and handball. I don't know why. But when it gets to under 20, then the senior level, it appears we are not, maintaining the tempo. I think there should be something there to be done by the authorities. The federations are concerned. So, but it's a good thing that at the grassroots level we are getting it right gradually, and it can only get better with better plannings.
It can only get better with better plannings. Now, if you look at this competition from beginning to the end, the under 18, they showed that they were really ready for this competition. Looking at the fact that they actually dominated West Africa before they moved to Congo. At the under 18, they also did well, although they lost. I remember they lost a game. And Guinea was able to get under 20 now. The under 20 fought hard, not as if they didn't perform or they lost a game, although they fought hard against Guinea. But Guinea seems to have an edge, and they were able to scale through.
Yeah, the loss, of course, affected the chances of the under 20. I know, based on the head-to-head rule, of course, the under 20 lost that ticket. But then, good one, at least, after losing, so sometimes it's always good to win your very first game, to give that tempo.
Boost.
Yeah, that boost, going ahead into so they lost their first game, so that's probably now, they're short of points already. So before they could recover, other teams had already, gone ahead. But then, still kudos to them, like Ikena said, the other 18, they seem to be doing better than the other 20. No doubt, the other 20 guys, they are very good. Both the male and female, they are doing their best. But I think there's something missing. We don't know yet why they don't get to the next stage. But let's see how that pans out in subsequent editions of these games. But then I'm quite impressed with the other 18. Maybe because they are younger, maybe because they are still fresh and everything. But still, other 20 they are still fresh as well too. But it's just something that is just missing. But then let me just give them all the kudos. We cannot just keep. We can't win everything. So if under 18 goes, okay, the under 20 falls back. It's still a fair win for.
At least we have one. Yeah. Out of the two slots from Africa.
Though painfully they lost by head-to-head rule. That's just it for the under 20. So that's just an unfortunate incident for them. But it has been, like I said, they won their very first game. You're not talking about head-to-head rule now, but it has happened. It has happened.
Well, to let you know that Nigeria and Guinea will be representing Africa over there by the time the intercontinental level actually starts. Well, for right now, the under 18 boys can celebrate for the fact that they actually conquered Africa when it comes to handball. Talking about the IHF challenge that took place in Congo, Brazzaville. While we talk about that, let's swap at least a bit. Let's talk about basketball now, NBA. A lot of matches were played. Actually, it's about 5 games were played earlier today. And we quickly look at how it went down. The likes of Paul Siakam did well for his club there, and you look at all the players really fighting for honors in the NBA. Quickly, we'll take a look at what's happening concerning games that were played. Talking about the result of the NBA there. Let's look at New York Knicks 116. They lost against Toronto Raptors 125. Oklahoma City Thunder 101, defeating Denver Nuggets by 99 points. Well, you have Memphis Grizzlies 110 against Phoenix Suns. Actually scored 112 with 2 points. ahead of Memphis Grizzlies. Brooklyn Nets 120 against Golden State Warriors, who scored 116. They fought hard, but 4 points was what Brooklyn used to actually upstick them. Good one for Brooklyn Nets, where Kevin Durant actually applied straight. Los Angeles Lakers 121 against Portland Trail Blazers, who actually scored 112 in a way that they swapped the numbers. Well, good one for LA Lakers. It seems they're actually getting their groove back now, doing well in almost about 2 to 3 games now, back to back. They've been able to do well. And you look at the likes of Golden State Warriors also trying to see how they can perform, but it's not really going well with them for the last match they played, rather game they actually played. Well, for Brooklyn Nets, they show class winning that game 120 to 116. When it comes to NBA, when you look at the way it's going right now, it seems Brooklyn Nets, Boston Celtics, Phoenix Suns, they are really edging towards where you can mention that these guys are battle ready for the NBA season.
And look at Brooklyn Nets, for example. Now we see Kevin Durant, who is like the main guy that he drives them. So it pushes them ahead, because you can't have a player of that stature, a player of that caliber in your team, and you not. It's more or less like a Messi of a Brooklyn Nets, but he brings out the drive in the players, and again he has been scoring so many points for his team, and those points count for the team. So I'm glad that as we are seeing the likes of challenging likes of the LA Lakers and the Golden State Warriors for the NBA title, but we don't know how that will pan out. Towards the end of the season, anything can change. I pray doesn't get injured. That game is a very slicky game. Any small thing that out. But let's see how that pans out towards the end of the season. But it's been a very beautiful. My only challenge is that we don't get to watch this regularly because of the time.
Time factor, the time difference.
Yes, early in the morning, of course, we'll be sleeping by that time. But still, I still get to watch a bit of them. And but I'm most impressed with the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets. Yeah. Well, they've really done well. Seems Ikena looks like one basketballer. So you actually look like what?
Well, you may want to put me on the spot, but I wouldn't want to be there. I actually would look at NBA as a place that every other country, of course, particularly Nigeria, we should look up to, to move its basketball activities to the Eldorado. So, but these guys, if you wouldn't want to put yourself in a place where you will be thinking of so much. These guys, most of them make so much money more than the footballers.
Of course.
Yeah. So, somebody like you mentioned in Lakers.
LeBron James.
Durant. Yeah, James. Yeah. So these guys, they are doing a lot. Look at most of their games end up over 100 points, and yet a club is losing. So it goes to show the quality that is in that particular league. Good
one. They are giving you updates concerning the NBA. Just brief, but it's very, very juicy. Let's move on to tennis. Even though just to talk about Iga Swiatek losing out. This lady has been the one everybody was looking at. Maybe she'll be able to win it, but right now she's out from the Australia Open. Iga Swiatek was defeated by Rebelenka, who actually defeated her in that game, and also Coco Gauff fought hard, but it was too easy for Yelena Ostapenko, who actually defeated her also. Within an hour, she was bundled out of the competition. Well, right now, Coco Gauff, the American, and Iga Swiatek, both of them are out of the competition. Talking about Australia Open. Right now, it's now open for the ladies. The lady that everyone was actually afraid of is out, talking about Swiatek. And now you look at the likes of Yelena Ostapenko, Rybalenka, all of them are still there fighting for honors. And for the men, well, Novak Djokovic could be gunning for his 10th title so far. Looking at the way he has actually done well in Australia Open, he'll be fighting against the Meno in his own game today. And let's see, maybe he will be able to do it according to the way it's going right now. Djokovic seems to be at least edging towards it. At least he has been able to showcase that among the three big boys that were playing, that have been at least labeled for tennis recently, talking about Federer and Nadal. He seems to be having an edge because he's really holding on, looking at Novak Djokovic. And you want to celebrate with, actually believe with me that Novak could actually go home with this.
Yeah, of course. His prime after that episode of that, the last episode whereby he was rejected because of the COVID vaccination. But now he has come back to that stage whereby we own him for that particular time, whereby he knows that This is 10th. He's going for his 10th title, and of course, since the rest of the other guys are out already, he is the prime person to win the Open this time around, because who can challenge Djokovic now? None.
Well, at times we see some.
Yeah, at times we can see shockers, but based on current form right now, no one can challenge him right now. But then let's talk about the female one. I'm very, very sad for Coco Gauff, because she's a girl, a very young lady that I look up to, that I see that will come up in future, dominate tennis. She's still a very, very young girl, but for her to be able to challenge against Swiatek, challenge even the Williams sister at some point, shows the kind of quality she has in her. And I see her. It was very sad for her to go out at this stage, but then she's still young. She can still come up in the next edition, and of course still win. But she has a very long time ahead of her. So she's a very prime person to challenge, to hold on to this trophy for years to come, because of her age. Because now she has gathered so much experience at this level of her life. She has gathered so much experience that she can able to challenge for honors in the future Grand Slams.
Good one there. We're giving you updates concerning tennis. They are talking about Coco Gauff and Iga Swiatek being bundled out of this tournament. And you look at Novak Djokovic ready to fight against him. We wait to see this what will he be offering concerning the Australia Open there. Now let's talk about football. Talking about the MPFL match day 3. Matches were played across Nigeria, and we have the result there. Nasarawa United, they were walloped by Akwa United 1-2-3. And you have at New Jos Stadium in Jos Plateau State, Rangers International played a 1-0 draw against Sunshine Stars of Akure. Abia Warriors, they actually lost against Lobby Stars. Plateau United 2-1 against Eyimba International. El Kanemi shared the spoil against Gombe United, while Bende Insurance picked Kwara United at home. That's in Ibadan. Well, good one for Bende Insurance, scored by Oseko there. And you have Bayelsa United defeating Wiki Tourist by 2-1. Doma United 1. Dakada FC 0. You look at the results for this week. Really, MPFL is really getting very interesting, because we are beginning to see a lot of at least away wins happening. First, I remember day 1, day 2, day 3. Now we are able to see at least 2 away wins showcasing there. Yeah,
it's a good thing. The current management, which is known as Interim Management Committee, they have started on a good note. I mean, it's a good thing to see that for a very long time, the referees who didn't do, not in this league, but in the women's league, under this particular NFF administration, I mean, the referees being suspended, a good number of them, about 5 or so of them, and they are facing so much penalties. And of course, if by the end of the day the investigation prove prove to be that they were involved in some shady stuff, they would have themselves to blame. I mean, the punishments they will receive. So it's a good thing. And I mean, IMC, before it started, I mean, the current PFL started, they warned seriously that if you are a referee and you are found guilty of some whatever, it's going to be a problem for yourself. And I want to believe that they will hold on to it. Nigeria's a challenge has never been starting good in some cases, but it's to sustain the good. So if we are able to sustain this, I mean, there is no reason any club in Nigeria should be looking for sponsorship. It should be the other way, sponsorship looking for clubs, and of course the league. Because that's what happens even in Nigeria, even in Zambia, even in Mozambique. I mean, our players play in leagues in Tanzania. And then at Tanzania, how good it is compared to Nigeria. I mean, our players are playing in those places and they are earning better money than, our players who are here in Nigeria. So it's a good thing that this has started. If it's sustained, in the next couple of years, 4 or 5 years, we'll be able to become a pride. Look at this now today. We're not in the top 20 of the leagues in Africa.
Well, while we're still talking about the MPFL, just like Ikena was talking about the issue of officiating, but at least we are seeing a new wind of change in the MPFL, and it's getting better. We are seeing away wins, day 1, day 2, day 3. Away wins are happening, not like before that you see almost 10 matches or 8 matches where you will not see a single away win, but it's happening now.
That's a very good one. That, like you said, based on the referee now, we have a better officiating. But then I'm just surprised at the fact that a club like Natural United now, they've not won any match, any game this season. That's three loss in 3 games, and that's so sad. And we are seeing better Lishons, of course, defeating Ekwara United. That's away from home, and they did that. I think they did that in a very.
Now this is their 3rd win.
Yeah, their 3rd win
for Bender Insurance.
So they won their 1st game. I think also away from home as well too. Plateau United as well. They drew also. Yeah. So we can see that even the old guns now, we can see Rangers and Imba struggling. We are seeing Plateau United. Of course, I'm not sure they won the game.
They won yesterday.
Okay, they won yesterday. Yes. Okay, so that's the first win yesterday. So we can see that the big guns are struggling. Why the
unexpected
Doma United, of course, defeating the Dakada FC 1-0. So and they also, I think they won that 1st game. They drew the 2nd game. Now they won that 3rd game. So we are seeing the young, should I say the unknown or the lesser teams, clubs, performing better than the stronger, the bigger teams, and that is the beauty of this game. Because if you give a level playing ground for all the clubs, we will see them performing very, very well, and that's good. Kudos to IMC for allowing the referee, and now they paid the referees before they go to the game, so that there'll be no reason for them to be bought over by the home team or the away teams.
Okay, good one there coming from Jide and Ikena. Talking about the MPFL, let's have a glimpse of the table, the way table Group A and Group B actually standing in the MPFL. Well, even though that looks a bit, maybe we just, let's quickly look at how, when it comes to playing football in Nigeria, we know it's not easy. The players traveling here and there, traveling from Maiduguri to Ibadan to play, from Ibadan to maybe Jos, Abia State and all that. Like last time, somebody was advocating that maybe all the clubs, IMC should look into letting them take flight, either to the nearest state, if there is no airport, at the state where they are going to play. At least it will reduce the stress.
Like 2-3 hours drive.
Yes.
From the airport. That's making serious sense. You see, we have so much issues in our football. And these issues are not the thing, it can be sorted out in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, even in 1 year. What has happened in Nigerian football, we need some good 3, 4, 5 years, to sort out. So it's good that the IMC, the NFF, they are beaming their satellite on refereeing at the moment. You can't put all your hands in the mouth at the same time. So by the time by the time they stabilize that aspect, they could move into probably this aspect of transportation. How do the clubs transport their players? And of course, by that time, different organizations, corporate organizations would have had interest in what is happening in our league. I mean, we have so many airlines in Nigeria, both those that are coming in from outside and those that are resident here, localized, those that are owned by Nigerians. So a good number of them could easily even approach this club, or even when the club approach them, they will say, we can do business. Instead of having to pay for a full whatever, maybe they will meet them halfway somewhere, or they even have to part all of that for them.
Well, good one there. Our time is really running now. We just have to talk the EPL. Well, over the weekend, the 2 biggest matches. I'm talking about Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal. Really a tough one for the likes of Manchester United when they were thinking they were almost going home with a draw. Arsenal really nipping the ball there. Let's look at the result of the EPL quickly before we wrap it up. Let's talk about the EPL where Arsenal did well. 3-2 against Manchester United. In Ketia to the rescue there. You have Manchester City, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-0. Erling Haaland scoring another hat-trick. Leeds United 0 against Brentford. Crystal Palace, Newcastle. Everton losing again. What's happening to the team from Goodison Park? West Ham United 2. Well, Southampton lost at home at St. Mary's against Aston Villa. Brighton and Leicester actually sharing the spoil 2-2. Nottingham Forest Bournemouth 1-1, and Liverpool Chelsea. They fought hard. They tried to see who will actually walk alone. It ended 0-0 there. Talking about EPL, if we can quickly look at how the table is standing there before we come back to inside the studio for Jide and Ikena to talk about that. We're talking about the EPL. While we're talking about that, we'll be waiting for the table there. Now, you saw what happened. Arsenal, Man United. a match that a lot of people were waiting for. Also, Liverpool-Chelsea. People were trying to see who will carry the day between the two. Those ones share the spoil. For Arsenal, Man U, it ended 3-2. Right now, we have the table there. Arsenal, even though they have a game to play, they now have 50 points, trying to add extra, making it 5 again. Manchester City are second with 45 points. You have Newcastle. You have Man United now standing fourth. Newcastle are not ready to draw the curtain there at all. Tottenham Hotspur are fifth. Brighton are standing sixth. You have Fulham, Brentford, Liverpool, and Chelsea. Chelsea have been on the 10th position for almost 4 weeks now. They've been maintaining that position. Let's flip it to 11 to 12 or 20 now. Let's look at the second part of the table. Talking about Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. You have it in that pecking order. But let's look quickly talk about Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Okay, it was a beautiful game yesterday watching Arsenal against Man U, and of course it ended 3-2. And they've seen that the Arteta boys, his process, the project has broken on for the past few years is now yielding up a very good fruit. I knew Arsenal were going to defeat Man U. I just knew. In fact, I had discussion with my friends online yesterday on their Twitter space, and I said Arsenal will defeat Man U 3-2. Why? Because after Man City had reduced the gap by 3 points, Arsenal was condemned they had to win that game against Man U at all costs. We saw it now, of course, Haaland, scoring his third hat-trick in the season. And if I right now, Haaland has already won the Golden Boot, because now he has already won the Golden Boot.
for not just for EPL, maybe Europe. Right?
He has already won the Golden Boot already.
That's be like 24 goals now, right?
Nobody can stop it.
He has 31 goals.
That's all in all, but 24 in APL.
He has already won it, so that one is already given. And he only needs to break Alan Shearer's record of 5 hat-tricks in a season, and he has 3 already. So
3 or 4?
4 now.
So there remains 1. Then you now break it, making 6. So he is primed to do that. So, but I'm glad for Arsenal. I'm glad for the fact that finally they're getting close to winning that elusive silverware Premiership. They've not won it for over 20 years now. They won it last in 2003, 2004 season when they had the unbeatable season, the invisible squad. But now I'm very optimistic that they will not let their guards down. Now they've taken away the big guys. Now they've played against the big guys. It remains Man City that they've not played against yet. And when they play against Man City and they clear them out, then they're all home and dry.
Seriously, well, let's hear from Mickey now.
Yeah, from the table, I think the top 4 seem to more or less decided. I mean, those in top 4 at the moment most likely will end up
like this
at that, because the gap between
Man U and
Tottenham is widening, and Tottenham don't seem to be improving by the day. They are rather not in the good form at the moment. So between Tottenham down to Chelsea, anything could still happen, because the gap it's not that much. So Chelsea may have beat by top 4 this season, maybe looking for Europa or the Conference League to part with. So it's all good. I think the club is in the rebuilding process, and even Liverpool as well. It's just that Liverpool just lost one man, Mane, and they have not really recovered since then. So all the best for all of them, and let's see how it pans out by the time season ends in May.
A good one for Arsenal, really trying to coast home there for the fact that they were able to dislodge Manchester United at the dot of time, 90th minute. In KTA getting that goal, it was a big blow to Manchester United, who actually thought they were going home with that draw. Well, it never happened at the Emirates Stadium. Well, good one there for the EPL. Let's just take La Liga. La Liga Santander matches were also played over there in La Liga. I have to quickly look at the result of some of these games being played in Spain before we wrap it up. Mallorca against Celta Vigo ended 1-0. Elche played 1-1 against Osasuna. Barcelona pipped Getafe by a lone goal. You have Atletico Bilbao losing against Real Madrid. You have Rayo Vallecano also losing against Real Sociedad 2-0 there. Well, Atletico Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano defeated Real Valladolid 3-0, and they were able to win there. Sevilla, yes, finally they were getting a win for them. A good one for them to be able to do this. For Sevilla, they've been really struggling this season. Villarreal, it was a pip against Girona. They also won that game 1-0, while Elche and Osasuna shared the spoil there 1-1. And if you look at the way the table is over there in La Liga Santander, it will also show you that Barcelona are really edging home right now. They are topping still with 44 points, trailed by Real Madrid with 41, 3 points now ahead of them, 30 goal difference against 22 for the Los Merengues. Real Sociedad are standing tall. Atletico Madrid are trailing with 31 to 38, extra 7 points between the two. You have Villarreal, Real Betis, Osasuna, Bilbao, Vallecano, and Mallorca in that pecking order. If you look at 11 to 20, you have Elche, bottom of the table, followed by Cadiz ahead on 19th position. Real Valladolid from bottom to the top now. Celta de Vigo, Getafe, Sevilla. Now they've jumped out from that relegation zone to 15th with a -8 and 18 points. Almeria, Valencia also, they are struggling. Espanyol, Girona in that pecking order. Talking about Spanish La Liga.
So between Girona and Elche, no, not Elche actually, Cadiz, any of these clubs could still go relegation down, because the gap, as it is, it's not anything to, for any club to say we are home. So, but at the top 10, I mean, Real Madrid, I don't know, they have lost some games this season that I'm particularly surprised, and that's why they find themselves where they are right now.
Standing second.
I mean, standing second, but I mean, 4 points in between, 3 points right now in between. Not anything to cheer for Barcelona yet, because a Real Madrid team could pick form after 1 or 2 wobbling, and of course they will sustain it till.
They are picked already.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Till whenever they want to.
They are picked already.
Yeah, they are picking. They have not really picked, as it were.
No, look at the game against Bilbao yesterday.
At Bilbao, yeah.
Yeah, of course, we saw our German sniper, Toni Kroos, scoring is a trademark goal. That capped up the whole effort of these players. So, Real Madrid, of course, is my team. We've had 1 or 2 losses in the league, and of course, we lost at the Super Cup against Barcelona.
Yeah.
But then after that, we came back stronger. We have come back stronger because that loss gingered the boys that we cannot lose Super Cup and still lose the league to Barcelona. And Barcelona, the first leg we won 3-1, so we remain the second leg, which I'm very sure we will beat them as well too, and recover the table. We are going Madrid again. I'm very confident about Real Madrid.
This week, it's a Real Madrid fan.
It's a Madrid star.
It's just a blight that we just lost that Super Cup they were sleeping anyway.
Your team was sleeping. Agreed.
So there was no ginger again, but now
you have the ginger.
Of course.
Okay, hopefully, let's see how the ginger will be going. When it actually comes to Real Madrid and Barcelona, a big fight any day between the two teams, the Los Blancos and the Los Merengues. They always fight to the end. That'll be it on 360 Sport. Jide and Ikena, they've been doing the justice. Good to have you guys.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Many thanks, a privilege.
I see you smiling. You want to throw some banter to give it. Well, that will be it on 360 Sports. Anyway, that will be it on the show. I am Adeniyi Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.